हे गाइस वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल एंड आज मैं लाई हूँ आपको नया टॉपिक दैट इज़ ऑल अबाउट न्यूट्रिशन जिसमें हम पढ़ेंगे न्यूट्रिशन की सारी डिटेल्स फ्रॉम बेसिक टू कॉम्प्लेक्स। तो अब इस वीडियो में आई विल बी टीचिंग यू न्यूट्रिएंट्स। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द बेसिक definition. What is science of nutrition? Scientific study of food and in relation to the health or nutrition as the science which deals with those processes by which body utilizes food for energy growth and maintenance of health. ये एक साइंटिफिक स्टडी है किस चीज़ की? फूड की। इन रिलेशन साथ में लेती है हेल्थ को। और न्यूट्रिशन एक ऐसा साइंस है जो डील करता है प्रोसेसेस को, डाइजेशन, अब्जॉर्प्शन, देन एक्सक्रीशन। तो ये सब चीज़ें प्रोसेस यूज़ करता है एंड फूड को यूज़ करता है एनर्जी ग्रोथ एंड मेंटेनेंस ऑफ हेल्थ के लिए। सो दिस इज़ ऑल साइंस ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन. When we are talking about food, let's study about what is food. Food is a basic necessity of life. It is very important. You cannot live without food at all because it helps you to give energy, it helps you to grow, it helps you to keep your health very proper and is essential as it provides vital nutrients for survival and helps the body function and stay healthy. These are all the functions of food. Every cell is regularly and continuously replaced, some after a few days, some after months, and some after years. So, our cells which are present in our body keeps breaking down regularly. That can be days, months, or years. Although our external appearance may be relatively unchanged. External appearance does not change. For all these internal and external processes, nutrients are required. So when these cells are getting replaced by new ones, you require nutrients. And for these nutrients, where are you getting these nutrients from? Food. So food is the source of these nutrients. So I hope you can connect nutrients and food. And the nutrients you derive for your body is known as nutrition when it helps you to keep healthy. Nutrients are molecules in food that all organisms require. All organisms will require for energy, grow, develop, and reproduce. Nutrients are digested and then broken down into simple parts to be used by the organism. So this is all about nutrition, food, why do we require food, and what do we get out of food, and all about nutrients. So let's understand about nutrition now. Nutrition is the science of food, the nutrients and the other substances. The nutrients, we'll be studying about the nutrients in this video. In their action, interaction, and balance in relationship to health and disease. It's not important that you will always be healthy, but you can be also diseased. The process by which organisms ingest, digest, absorbs, transports, utilizes nutrients and disposes their end products as excretion. When you digest, then absorption takes place and then all nutrients are transported and taken by the organs which are required by them. That is utilization of nutrients. And then whatever the waste is being excreted. In addition, nutrients must be concerned with social, economic, cultural and psychological implication of food and eating. Social, when you go to party, obviously the food is served. So that is so social. You always discuss, yes, I found good food in that marriage or in that birthday party. Economic, if you go to lavish party, obviously they are economically good. That's where they are giving a lot of varieties. Cultural, you go to West Bengal, you'll find there a different variety as compared to if you go to South India. And psychological, you may feel happy, you eat more. You feel sad, you eat less or more. So that is psychological implications of food and eating. Let's come to optimum nutrition. When we have studied about nutrition, it's very important to study about the optimum nutrition. It is important for providing immunity and protection from infection. Optimum means when your body requires simplified amount of nutrition, then that should be there so that your body doesn't get diseased. For providing immunity, fight against the infections, right? And even protect against from the infections and to promote recovery from a variety of illnesses. If you are unwell, obviously you should eat good amount of food that is nutrient rich so that you recover very fast, as well as managing chronic diseases. Even when you manage chronic diseases, then yes, food is very important and nutrition comes to play a big role in it. So when nutrient intakes are inadequate, the body has difficulty in maintaining. When nutrients are deficient in your body, then it leads to immune defenses, healing wounds. Immunity is not there when you get hurt. The wounds are healed, take place a lot of time. Utilizing medications, supporting organ functions. So, you should not be deficient of nutrients at all. And such person who is having deficiency of nutrients in body, such person may fall victims to additional complications. So this is all about nutrients, food, nutrition, and what kind of nutrition your body requires. So let's start about nutrients in details. Nutrients, macronutrients, there are two types, macronutrients and micronutrients. Macro means large, micro means small. So macronutrients are consumed in relatively larger quantities as compared to micro quantities, which are consumed in relatively smaller quantities, but they are very essential to body processes. Macronutrient example, carbohydrates, protein, fat. Micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. And yes, very important nutrient, water is also very important. You can live without food for a day, but you cannot live without water. So water is also very important nutrient to carry out all the procedure of getting nutrients to the body. So here we have macronutrients, carbs, proteins and fats. We have micronutrients like iron, iodine, zinc, calcium, vitamin C, vitamin A. We'll be studying in details in next videos. So let's study about macronutrients. Macro means large. Let's start now with carbohydrates. Glucose, the formula is C6H12O6. This is very important question and the formula can be asked of carbohydrates. So the same as glucose, C6H12O6. You should understand the fact. They are sugars or polymers of sugars. Carbohydrates is all about sugars or they are polymers of sugars such as starch. So we have example that is starch that can be hydrolyzed to simple sugars. So starch is converted into sugars by the action of digestive enzymes or by heating with dilute acids. Generally, but not always, the hydrogen and the oxygen in them are in the proportion to form water and hence the term is carbohydrates. So when we have hydrogen and oxygen, but in proportion to form water, hence the term is known as carbohydrates. We have types of carbohydrates. Let's understand first on the basis of number of sugar units. We have monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides, polysaccharides. So in monosaccharides, mono means one, simple sugar, glucose, fructose, galactose and mannose. Disaccharides, with the name itself, di means two. So two sugars. So when the product is formed by the combination of two sugars, that is known as disaccharides. Sucrose, glucose and fructose. Lactose, glucose and galactose. Maltose, glucose and glucose, that is two units of glucose. So this is very important. This generally comes in exams if you are in BSc Food and Nutrition or Home Science and even MSc entrance exam. So you should watch the whole video. If you really want to crack the entrance of MSc and you want to score good in. So next is non-starch. Under non-starch we have cellulose, hemicellulose, which is present in leafy and body parts of plants. Then we have pectins, which is present in fruits, mucilage and gums present in seeds. So you should know the examples, is very important. Okay. Then second is on the basis of structure. We have simple and complex. Under simple, we have monosaccharides and disaccharides. Mono has how many and di has how many? Tell me. You can write in the comment box. Then we have complex. Under complex, we have polysaccharides. I have told you the examples. You should be very thorough with the examples. Third is digestible and indigestible. So, which you can digest, or digestible, indigestible, which you cannot digest. Fourth is other types of carbohydrates. Under this, we have glycogen, dextrin, and sugar alcohols. Glycogen and dextrin is very important, and a lot of people get confused. So let's understand glycogen. It is stored in liver and muscles. When glucose is converted into glycogen, then it is stored in liver and muscles. It is an animal starch. Dextrin, breakdown products when starch comes in contact with dry heat. So when starch comes in contact with dry heat, it becomes dextrin. D for dry heat. There is change in color, flavor, and it is more easily digestible. Then we have third is sugar alcohol, sweetening agents, which we use in the food. Examples sorbitol and mannitol. So you should know the examples of sugar alcohols or the sweetening agents. Let's understand the function of carbohydrates. Functions of carbohydrates is first is it provides energy. How much energy does it provide? 1 gram is equal to 4 kilocalorie. Second, carbohydrates can be utilized until 100% in the body. That means you can utilize at 100% in the body. Third, if you have less carbohydrates in the body, your protein will be used. But if you have amount that is required by the body, then protein will be spared. Protein bach jayega. So protein sparing action. Body uses carbohydrates as a source of energy, hence sparing the protein for tissue functioning. For the protein, function is tissue functioning. So it will work for tissue functioning, not for giving the energy. Fourth is nervous system, main source of energy. Let's understand this. Glucose is the main source of energy for the nervous system. If our brain will not get enough energy, then obviously it will damage the brain tissue, and this condition comes to be known as hypoglycemia. Fifth is role in muscles. Carbohydrates is the main source for muscular work. Glucose molecules are stored in liver and muscles as glycogen, which are used for fuel, especially during physical activity. Glycogen breaks down into glucose in muscles. Carbohydrates improve ability performance by delaying partly and hence it actually helps athlete to perform better. Sixth is role in liver. How does it play important role in liver? The liver plays a central role in maintaining blood glucose levels. Following consumption of food, excess glucose can be stored within the liver as glycogen. This glycogen can then be degraded to release glucose in times of exercising or fasting. You have already studied in role in muscles. So it plays very important role in liver and muscles. Seventh, heart muscles. Heart muscles mainly uses glucose as energy. Eighth, excess calories are converted to fat and stored in adipose tissue. That's why we always say that cut down your carbs if you really want to lose down the weight. Now let's understand the digestion and the absorption of carbohydrates. Under digestion and absorption, when we ingest food, it has carbohydrates. So it starts from mouth, right? Food, when you ingest food, when you take food in your mouth, it gets chewed up and then breaks down into smaller pieces. In this, starch gets converted into maltose. Two things are required for conversion: ptyalin and amylase. Very important, what enzyme you found in mouth, that is ptyalin and alpha amylase. It came in DSSS exam, and this is very important. Then we have small intestine. And the small intestine, we have pancreatic amylase, which acts on starch. Sucrose gets converted into glucose and fructose, maltose, glucose, plus glucose, that is 2 units of glucose, lactose gets converted into glucose and galactose. And then we have limited dextrin that converted into glucose. Now, let's understand what do we require for all these processes. Energy is required. Next, protein is needed as a carrier. That means protein acts as a carrier for following up of all the procedure. जो भी हमारे प्रोसेस हो रहे हैं, protein is required. For what? Substance from lumen to inside of the intestinal mucosal cells for पहुंचाएगा. Third is absorption is facilitated by high sodium concentrated sodium. When absorption is required, then we require high sodium. So this again becomes a good question. Now, sodium and glucose acts as a co-transportation carrier. They will be transported together from villi, capillaries to portal circulation. Portal circulation is all about glycogen is getting stored in the liver. Then we have fructose. Fructose does not require any sodium concentrated. It is a simple diffusion process which can act independently without Na. Galactose and fructose converted to glucose and glycogen. Now, 97 to 98% of carbohydrates is digested and absorbed. And the extra one is stored as fat in adipose tissues and glycogen in liver. Now, levels of carbohydrates in body, which is the required amount. If it is 78 to 100, then we have normal. We have normal. But when it is less than 78, it is hypoglycemia. Hypo means less. When it is more than 100, then it is hyperglycemia. How much calories are required? 60 to 70% of calories are required that comes from carbohydrates. So they are enough. Alright. So this is all about carbohydrates. My next video will be on dietary fibers and protein. We're going to study in very details. So keep watching the video. Thank you. Subscribe the channel, share the video, like the video. Bye bye. Take care.